Something extraordinary is happening right now. November has just begun, and it arrives carrying the vibration of one of the most intense, most revealing full moons of the entire year, which peaks on this very November 5th. But you must pay close attention, because this is no ordinary full moon. This is the exalted supermoon in the fixed Earth sign of Taurus, a lunation that finds its greatest strength, its most potent expression. This is the moon that separates those who are asleep from those who are awake, the souls living in autopilot from those who have been chosen, destined to truly see. It creates this division because the sun, in the deep penetrating waters of Scorpio, is sitting in direct opposition, illuminating every hidden truth, every secret, every corner of our material and spiritual lives. During this specific 48-hour window, encompassing November 5th and November 7th, the energy descending upon the Earth is a frequency that will not be repeated for a very long time. It is a vibration so high, so clarifying, that only those who are vibrationally prepared will be able to receive it and integrate it. This energy is electrified by the presence of Uranus, the Great Awakener, which makes its final rebellious re-entry into Taurus on November 7th, promising sudden shifts in everything we thought was stable. And if you are listening to this message right now, in this precise moment, know that it is not by chance. You were guided here. In the comments below, write, "I am open and aligned to receive my divine inheritance." Because this Taurus full moon does not bring simple coincidences. It brings signals so precise, so divinely synchronized, that they could completely change the way you understand your life, your relationships, and your very purpose on this earth. But there is a warning, my dear one. These miracles, these profound shifts, will not manifest for those who simply observe from a distance. They will only reveal themselves to those who awaken their consciousness, to those who decide to look beyond the visible veil and participate actively in what the cosmos is offering. This full moon, energized by the entire 48-hour corridor from November 5th to the 7th, is opening 7 distinct doors of manifestation. Each of these doors corresponds to a different type of divine signal, a different miracle, but you must be able to recognize them. You must understand what you are feeling when they present themselves, or this entire cascade of blessings will pass by unnoticed, as if it had never even occurred. The majority of people will continue their routines, heads down, hearts closed, never knowing that something grandiose is unfolding right in front of them. But not you. You are different. You are one of those who came here in this lifetime to remember who you truly are. So listen with your entire being, with your soul, because what you are about to discover could confirm that you are being guided, protected, and assisted by forces that do not belong to this physical world. These are the 7 signals that only the chosen, only the awakened will experience during this November full moon. Before I explain why this planetary alignment, this sacred 48-hour window, is about to change your reality forever, I need you to anchor your energy in this present moment. This is your energetic confirmation that you are awake, that you have heard the spiritual call, and that you are prepared to walk through the doors this Taurus full moon is opening. By doing this, you are sending a direct signal to the universe, a silent but powerful message that says, "I am ready to receive the miracles that correspond to my path." The first miracle that the chosen will experience during this week, sparked by the full moon's light on November 5th, is the sudden and unexpected elimination of an obstacle that has been blocking your path for months, or perhaps even years. It will feel as if an invisible force, a guardian energy that until now had been watching you in silence, has suddenly decided to intervene directly in your favor. This is not a slow improvement, my child, nor is it a small progressive advancement. This is an immediate dissolution, so clear and conclusive that it will leave no room for doubt. Something that felt permanent, that seemed unmovable and solid as a mountain, will simply vanish before your very eyes. This is the energy of Uranus, the planet of upheaval, touching this Taurus moon. Uranus does not negotiate. It liberates. Perhaps you have been carrying a financial worry that seemed impossible to solve. The weight of debt, the pressure of scarcity, all governed by the earthy realm of Taurus. And suddenly, as Uranus re-enters this sign on November 7th, a source of money appears that you could have never imagined. It might come to you through a forgotten payment, a person who owed you money and suddenly decides to settle their debt, or even a job opportunity that lands in your lap without you even having searched for it. You will feel the universe aligning with you in a precise, almost mathematical way, as if it is rewarding you for having resisted, for having held the faith for so long. This miracle can also manifest in the realm of your relationships, especially as Venus, the planet of love and ruler of this Taurus moon, prepares to dive into the intense, transformative waters of Scorpio on November 6th. Someone who has been generating chaos or constant tension in your life might suddenly move away, naturally and without conflict. There will be no need for confrontations or lengthy explanations. That person who drained your energy, who perhaps seemed to feed off seeing you stagnant, simply retreats. They change direction, or they become distracted by something else that pulls them completely out of your orbit. From one moment to the next, the emotional burden you were carrying dissolves, and what was once a source of constant conflict becomes a peaceful silence that restores your inner calm. In other cases, this first miracle may express itself through the body, your physical vessel. If you have been dealing with persistent discomforts or symptoms that wouldn't go away, you might notice a sudden improvement, a feeling of lightness, as if something trapped within you has finally been released. This is more than just physical relief. It is an energetic recalibration. Your body is beginning to respond to the higher vibration of this full moon, which is cleansing old frequencies and reordering your entire system from the deepest cellular level. It is as if the energy of the moon, this exalted feminine light, is acting as an invisible medicine, undoing what for so long seemed impossible to heal. And for some, this miracle will arrive through a legal or administrative matter. This is the domain of Scorpio, the sign the sun is transiting, which rules contracts and shared resources. Perhaps a situation that seemed lost, a case that felt hopeless, is unexpectedly resolved in your favor. A case that was stalled for a long time suddenly moves forward. A document that was trapped in bureaucracy finally gets approved, or a decision is radically changed at the last possible moment. What previously felt like an injustice begins to turn toward harmony. Everything fits together in such a perfect way that you will feel the presence of something greater moving the threads in your favor. The most important thing is that you will recognize this miracle because it will feel like a liberation. It will not come with struggle, effort, or anxiety. It will come with relief, with lightness, with that profound sensation that something heavy has dissolved without you having to do anything more than stay aligned with the correct energy. This is the first great sign that you are being divinely guided. It is the confirmation that what once seemed like an unbreakable barrier was only an illusion, waiting for the exact cosmic moment, this alignment of the sun, moon, and Uranus, to vanish. The essential characteristic of this miracle is that it emerges in a completely natural way. You did not force it. You did not chase it with desperation, nor did you manipulate it in your favor. It simply happened, almost as if a higher intelligence had been waiting for the exact moment to intervene. The energy of this Taurus full moon is acting as a cosmic filter for the chosen. It is dissolving the blockages that were anchored in your path, cleansing everything that no longer belongs to your current frequency, and eliminating the elements that were preventing you from advancing toward your highest timeline. This energy does not arrive subtly. It's an intense, profound wave that drags away everything that has already served its purpose in your life. And when it acts, it does so with such extraordinary speed that it might be difficult for you to comprehend at first. You will realize it because the liberation will be total. What yesterday seemed fixed, resistant, or even eternal dissolves as if it never existed. One day that obstacle is there, tangible, present, dominating your mind and your emotions. The next day it is simply gone. It disappears so perfectly that you might even question if it was ever really a problem, or just an illusion created by the energy of the past. When this happens to you, and it will happen if your energy is aligned with the frequency of the chosen, pay attention. Recognize what is happening. That sudden change is not luck, nor chance, nor coincidence. It is the confirmation that invisible forces are working in your favor. It is the universe itself moving the pieces with divine precision to clear your path. The spiritual energies are opening the way because you have a mission to fulfill, a purpose that can no longer be postponed, and a destiny that is claiming your conscious presence. That obstacle was only a temporary piece of your learning, a necessary stretch of the road that has now ended. This type of miracle manifests precisely during the week of the full moon, because this phase represents culmination. It is the moment when energy reaches its maximum point, when everything that has been in process finally completes itself. For those who have been walking with faith, this Taurus full moon symbolizes the definitive closing of the cycle of struggle, of weariness, of effort without reward. It is the energetic graduation from everything you have overcome in silence. You have been tested, molded, and strengthened for months, even for years. Every challenge you faced was a part of your spiritual training. Every blockage that seemed to stop you was preparing you to hold a higher vibration, to trust more in the invisible than in the visible. And now, at this full moon, that training comes to an end. You have demonstrated that you can remain firm even in the midst of darkness. And because of that, the universe decides to remove that which is no longer necessary. The obstacle dissolves because its purpose has been fulfilled. It was a lesson you needed in order to evolve. And now that you have learned, the path opens with a clarity that will leave you speechless. This is the sign that you have passed the test, that the energy of resistance is transforming into expansion, and that what previously limited you now becomes your momentum. The elimination is so immediate and so complete that you will only be able to feel gratitude. This is the first great miracle of this full moon, the dissolution of what no longer has a place in your story. It is the universe telling you that you are ready to move forward, that everything holding you back has been released, and that now nothing stands between you and the life that truly belongs to you. The second miracle that the chosen will experience during this 48-hour window of November 5th to 7th is related to a profound reconnection with someone from your past. This is a person who at some point was important to you, but with whom you lost contact. A long time may have passed since your paths last crossed, perhaps months, perhaps even years. At the time, you may have believed that this bond was left behind forever. However, under the powerful energy of this full moon, and with Mercury, the planet of communication, slowing down to go retrograde in just a few days, the universe is reactivating dormant connections that still have an unresolved purpose in your life. This person could appear in ways you would never have imagined. Perhaps a sudden message arrives, an unexpected call, or a simple greeting through social media. And when you see their name, something inside you will stir. It will be as if a forgotten part of your story is awakening once again. It could also happen in an even more surprising way, a fortuitous encounter in a place you almost never go. A coincidence so precise that it will be impossible for you to ignore the feeling of destiny behind it. You might even dream of this person just before the reconnection occurs. In that dream, you might feel intense emotions, retrieve memories, or hear phrases that seem to make no sense, but which you will later discover were signals. Upon waking, you might feel a strong impulse to write to them or to look for them. And in that very moment, you might discover that they were also thinking of you. It is a synchronicity so clear that it will make you understand that something much larger is moving the invisible threads that are bringing you back together. However, this will not be a superficial reconnection. It will not be a simple, "How have you been?" This encounter, this conversation will have a purpose. There is an energetic reason behind this alignment, a specific reason why the universe decided to reunite you at this exact point in time. This person has something to deliver to you. It could be a piece of information that will change your perspective, a piece of advice that will open your path, or an opportunity that will place you in a completely new direction. It could also be an apology that finally releases a wound you have been carrying for a long time. Perhaps that conversation that never happened finally takes place, and with it comes the inner peace you needed to move forward. You will feel something inside you lighten, as if you can finally close that cycle without resentment or pain. In other cases, this reconnection, fueled by the intense energy of Venus entering Scorpio on November 6th, could open the doors to an important collaboration, a joint project, or even a romantic union that seemed to be in the past, but was simply waiting for the correct moment to truly flourish. The energy of this full moon is bringing back the people who are part of your soul's purpose. This is not about going back to the past. It is about healing, integrating, and building something new with what still holds spiritual value in your story. That is why, when this person appears, you must pay attention to the signals. At first, you may not understand why they have returned to your life, but as the days pass, you will notice how every word, every gesture, and every synchronicity fits perfectly with your current path. This reconnection has weight. It is charged with divine energy, with meaning, and with destiny. It is the universe demonstrating to you that no true encounter is ever lost. Everything that once had purpose returns when the frequency is ready, when both souls have learned what was necessary to meet again from a higher vibration. Under this full moon, the pieces are rearranging themselves. The bonds that were broken without explanation are rejoining, not by chance, but because there is still something important they must share. And you will know it. You will feel it in the deepest part of your being. This is the second miracle, the reunion with a part of your destiny that you thought was closed, but that was waiting for the perfect moment to return and completely transform your future. The reason this miracle manifests precisely during the full moon week has a profound meaning. Full moons act as great cosmic reflectors that illuminate everything that has remained hidden. Their energy doesn't just shine in the sky, it shines inside of you. It brings to the surface emotions, memories, and bonds that were dormant in the shadows of your unconscious. This light reveals what you previously could not see clearly, showing you people, situations, and truths that were still energetically active in your life, even if you thought you had moved past them. For the chosen, this illumination brings a kind of spiritual recognition. There are connections that in the past were cut abruptly, without explanation, and now the universe is bringing them back so they can fulfill their original purpose. Perhaps at that time, you or the other person were not ready to hold the energy that bond required. Perhaps the circumstances were not right, or simply the learning was not complete. But this full moon represents the exact point where inconclusive cycles are closed with consciousness, and true bonds find the perfect moment to meet again. This is the reason you are experiencing reappearances that surprise you, relationships that seemed finished, friendships that had cooled, or bonds that dissolved without apparent reason are beginning to reactivate. This return is not happening by chance. Every person who reappears does so with a specific purpose. They come carrying messages, teachings, or energy that you are now ready to receive. It could be a piece of advice you needed to hear, an opportunity you wouldn't have known how to seize in the past, or a closure that allows you to liberate yourself emotionally and move forward with greater lightness. This full moon represents the later that was left pending at the time. It is the meeting point between what was and what is destined to be. And when these connections return, they will bring with them the gifts they always had for you, but which only now can you understand in their totality. Therefore, when you feel the presence of someone from your past approaching again, observe it as a sacred event. Pay attention to the details. Observe the exact moment it happens, the words that person speaks, the topics that arise in the conversation, and the emotions they awaken in you. The universe communicates through synchronicities, and every word or gesture may contain a clue about the real purpose of this reconnection. Nothing in this alignment is casual. If someone returns to your life during this full moon, it is because there is a part of your path that must be activated through that encounter. That person might offer you something tangible, like a professional opportunity, a collaboration, or even an emotional message that brings peace to a story that had remained unfinished. It could also be a reminder of who you were, of how much you have grown, or of what you are ready to experience in this new stage. Every reunion will serve as a mirror, showing you how different your vibration is now and how the universe is rewarding you for having evolved. This reconnection is a miracle disguised as a coincidence. It is the way the universe shows you that everything that once felt lost is still part of a greater plan. Treat it with respect, with gratitude, and with presence. Open your heart to what this reunion may bring, because behind it there is wisdom, growth, and purpose. The energy of this full moon is guiding you toward the understanding that endings are never definitive when a spiritual purpose exists. What left before its time returns at the exact moment it must. So when this person crosses your path again, see it as a clear sign that your process is advancing. This time, everything is happening under a higher frequency, more conscious and more aligned with your destiny. This is the second miracle manifesting in its purest form, a reconnection that not only brings back someone from your past, but also brings you back to a more complete version of yourself. The third miracle that the chosen will experience during this full moon week, spanning November 5th to 7th, is related to the most unexpected material manifestation, the arrival of money from a source you never imagined. This is not your usual income, nor your salary, nor a payment you were expecting to receive. This is a sum that emerges from a completely different place, an amount that appears as a direct response from the universe to the energy you have been emitting. This is the territory of the Taurus full moon, which governs our wealth, our possessions, and our self-worth. But it is electrified by Uranus, the Great Awakener, re-entering Taurus on November 7th. Uranus brings the plot twist, the sudden surprise. It happens so naturally and shockingly that your first reaction will be disbelief. You will find yourself saying, "I did not see this coming," because, in effect, this manifestation does not come from effort or from searching, but from the vibration of openness you are holding in this moment. The energy of the full moon is activating portals of abundance for those who have been working in silence, cleansing their energy, and releasing old beliefs of lack. This week, that liberation translates into a tangible reward. The money can arrive in many forms. Perhaps it's a tax refund you had completely forgotten about, or a check issued by a company that owed you a pending payment. You might receive an unexpected bonus at work, an additional commission, or even find that someone decides to pay you a debt you had long considered lost. In other cases, it could manifest as an inheritance from a distant relative, a prize, a raffle, or a contest you entered without much expectation. Everything seems so spontaneous that you will know it is about something more than just coincidence. You might also notice money entering your bank account with no apparent explanation. Upon investigating, you discover that it is legitimate, that it belongs to you, and in that instant, you understand that it is the way the universe is acknowledging your willingness to receive. Or perhaps a new client appears, or a person interested in your services, ready to pay you a significant amount without you having had to actively seek them out. It is as if the energy itself placed you in front of the exact opportunity at the exact moment with the right person. The amount may vary. For some, it will be a small sum, enough to cover an immediate need or a personal desire. For others, it could be a larger amount, capable of alleviating financial worries or opening a new stage of stability and expansion. But the essence of this miracle is not in the number. It is in the unexpected nature of the event. The significant part is that you did not have to fight for it. You didn't have to chase it. It simply arrived, attracted by the energy of abundance that this Taurus full moon is radiating toward those who are prepared to receive. This miracle represents a powerful confirmation. Abundance is not conquered. It is attuned to. When your vibration is aligned with gratitude, faith, and openness, the universe responds in ways that defy all logic. During this full moon, that response manifests through material signals, as if the cosmos wanted to remind you that your spiritual connection can also be expressed in matter. Perhaps for a long time, you associated prosperity with constant effort, with the feeling of having to earn everything. But now you will understand something deeper. When your energy changes, your reality also changes. This week, you will feel how abundance begins to flow toward you with less resistance, as if something inside you has finally aligned with deservingness. When this money arrives, receive it with humility and with gratitude. It doesn't matter its origin or its magnitude. What matters is that you understand the message behind it. The universe is showing you that you are capable of manifesting without effort, that your thoughts, emotions, and vibrations are creating your experience on the physical plane. This is the third miracle of this full moon, the unexpected manifestation of abundance that confirms that everything you have worked on in silence is now beginning to bear visible fruit. The most fascinating thing about this miracle is that you did not have to pursue it. You didn't spend sleepless nights thinking about how to get that money. You didn't try to force the circumstances or manipulate the results. It simply happened. It arrived fluidly, as if an invisible force had decided to synchronize every detail so that everything would fit perfectly. That is the real magic of this Taurus full moon, amplified by the sudden energy of Uranus. It activates portals of manifestation so precise that what was blocked for weeks or even months begins to flow effortlessly. During this week, the lunar energy is acting as a magnet for the chosen who are already prepared to receive. And that is the key point. Are you ready? Have you cleansed old beliefs of scarcity? Have you learned to trust the process more than the control? The universe responds to that vibration. The money appears in your life not because you are demanding it, but because your frequency already matches abundance. It is an energetic response, not a forced result. And here is the detail that turns this into a true miracle. The money arrives at the exact moment you need it most. Not before, not after, but in the perfect instant. It is that deposit that appears just when a bill is due. It is that unexpected income that allows you to seize an opportunity that seemed unattainable. It is that payment that arrives on the very day you thought you couldn't continue. Everything happens with a divine precision that makes you understand that there is a higher intelligence coordinating every movement in your favor. The universe does not improvise. It knows exactly what you need, in what amount, and at what time. This perfect synchronicity between need and manifestation is what differentiates a miracle from a simple stroke of luck. Because luck feels random, but this miracle feels exact. You will recognize it by the inner feeling of awe and gratitude it awakens, by the silent certainty that it was a direct response to your faith and your openness. During this full moon, the chosen will feel how this universal wisdom translates into concrete facts, money, resources, opportunities, or solutions that appear at just the right time. Everything is aligned with the purpose of sustaining you, of propelling you forward, and of demonstrating to you that abundance is a living energy that moves with you when you are in harmony with your path. When that money arrives, receive it with gratitude. Feel it as a caress from the universe, a confirmation that you are being guided and supported. Do not let doubt, guilt, or fear make you think you don't deserve it. This gift is not a coincidence or a debt. It is the reflection of your internal growth. You have raised your frequency, and that is why abundance is responding. Give thanks in silence. Use that blessing with consciousness and allow the flow to continue. If you allocate it to something important, if you use it from a place of gratitude, you will open more channels for the energy to keep circulating. This is the fundamental principle of manifestation. That which you are grateful for multiplies. So this week, as the Taurus full moon illuminates the sky, open your heart to receive. Do not cling, do not close yourself off. Simply allow the energy to move through you. This is the third miracle, acting in its highest expression, the exact, precise, and perfect arrival of the abundance that was destined for you, as proof that the universe hears you, accompanies you, and sustains you at all times. The fourth miracle that the chosen will experience during this 48-hour window of November 5th to 7th is one of the most transformative, a profound healing that can manifest on different levels of your being. It may be physical, emotional, or psychological, but in all cases, it arrives in such an unexpected and complete way that it defies all logical explanation. This is the kind of healing that doesn't just come from the body, but also from the soul. It is the result of a direct intervention by the forces that guide the balance between the visible and the invisible. This healing is powerfully supported by the grand water trine currently active in the cosmos, a flowing alignment between the Sun in Scorpio, Jupiter in Cancer, and Saturn in Pisces. This is an energy of soul-level detox, inviting us to release old emotional burdens. If you have been facing physical symptoms that seemed not to improve, discomforts that accompanied you day after day, or ailments that resisted all treatment, this full moon could mark a turning point. You will notice changes that will surprise you. The pain that seemed a part of you begins to dissipate. Your body responds in a way that is faster than medical science could explain. Suddenly, you feel lighter, with more energy, with the sensation that something inside you has finally been released. It may be that doctors tell you your results have improved for no apparent reason, or that your body is beginning to function optimally without external intervention. That is the sign that the lunar energy, supported by this watery healing, Trine, has touched your frequency, activating your natural capacity to regenerate. This full moon doesn't just illuminate the sky, it illuminates the interior of those who are ready to heal. It is an energy that reaches down to the cells, reordering the patterns that were sustaining the imbalance. If you pay attention, you will feel how your body and mind synchronize once again, as if every part of you remembers how to feel well. This restoration is more than physical, it is vibrational. It is the universe reminding your body of its original design, balance, health, and harmony. And if what you have been carrying is not physical, but emotional, this week can feel like a rebirth. Perhaps you have lived with a tired heart, with wounds you thought were impossible to close, or with memories that still hurt every time you recalled them. But during this full moon, something changes. Suddenly, you find yourself breathing more, freely, feeling relief where before there was only weight. It's not that you forget what you lived through, but the pain loses its power over you. You can now look back without breaking. You can remember without feeling trapped. It is as if a warm light envelops your emotions, dissolving resentment, grief, and fear. That is the magic of this lunar energy combined with the grand water trine. It does not erase your history, it heals it. It allows what was once a wound to become wisdom, for the pain to transform into understanding, for the loss to become love. This healing occurs at a level so deep that words cannot fully describe it. It is an energetic cleansing of the soul, a restoration of your original frequency, the one that existed before life wounded you. And if you have been traversing psychological struggles, if anxiety, sadness, or negative thoughts have been your constant companions, this week will grant you a respite. You will feel a calm that you haven't felt in a long time. The mind slows down, the worries stop dominating you, and for the first time in a long time, you can look toward the future with hope. The mental clarity that arrives during this full moon, amplified by the spiritual energy of Saturn in Pisces, will make you understand that you are not broken, that within you there has always existed a healthy part waiting for the moment to re-emerge. The anxiety begins to lose its strength, the sadness ceases to be a permanent cloud, and you realize that there is light beyond the pain. It's possible you may have a moment of revelation, an epiphany in which you understand that you can overcome anything. That instant of consciousness, that moment in which you say to yourself, "I'm going to be okay," is the clearest proof that the lunar energy has touched your mind. This type of healing occurs when the universe decides to intervene directly, not because you did anything wrong or right, but because you are finally ready to release that which kept you stagnant. This full moon is acting as a restorative force that returns you to your center, that cleanses your emotions, calms your mind, and reminds your body how to heal. Therefore, if you feel relief, if you notice improvement, or if you simply perceive a lightness you haven't felt in a long time, be grateful for it. It is the fourth miracle manifesting within you. It is the universe showing you that healing doesn't always come from the outside. It begins inside you, when the correct energy meets your willingness to be reborn. This week, every chosen one will experience this type of restoration in some form. Some will feel it in their body, others in their mind, others in their heart, but all will agree on the same thing, the profound sensation that something inside them has been cured, that an old part has finally been released. The reason this miracle manifests during the full moon has very ancient roots, shared by civilizations and spiritual traditions all over the world. Since remote times, full moons have been considered portals of healing, moments when the universal energy reaches its highest point of expansion. Its light not only illuminates the Earth's surface, it also penetrates the deepest planes of the human soul. It is a light that reveals, that purifies, and that activates the natural processes of inner balance. The full moon has a unique vibration, a frequency that stimulates the energetic system of every living being. Its radiance acts as a mirror, reflecting that which still needs to be released, and in doing so, it begins to transform stagnant energy into movement. That is why, during this lunar phase, the chosen experience a sensation of relief and renewal. It is not simple coincidence, it is resonance. The body, the soul, and the mind respond to the call of the moon, allowing healing to occur without resistance. If you have been carrying emotional, physical, or mental wounds, this full moon becomes the perfect catalyst to free yourself from them. It is as if the lunar energy wraps you in a blanket of light and says, "It is enough. It is time to heal." This process does not obey medical timelines or gradual progress. It occurs directly, profoundly, and often immediately. The energies that previously limited you dissolve, and you feel that something invisible is working inside of you. Perhaps you wake up one morning and realize the pain has lessened, or that the emotions that weighed you down no longer have the same power over you. That is the sign of the miracle in action. The full moon shows you what was still in the shadow. Through its light, you begin to see clearly the invisible causes of your wounds. Patterns of thought, repressed emotions, or old memories that still kept your body on alert. Once you see it, the healing accelerates, the energy flows freely, and your system begins to self-restore. It is a natural process, but under this lunar energy, it becomes almost supernatural. When you feel that something is changing inside you, during this week when you perceive relief, lightness, or peace without being able to explain it, understand that it is part of this divine movement. Do not limit yourself to thinking it is just the effect of a treatment or a technique. Although those tools are useful, the true origin of this transformation comes from a much higher frequency. It is the universe's response to your willingness to let go of the pain. The acceleration you are experiencing, the improvement that arrives without warning, the strength that is reborn within you, these are manifestations of the miracle. That is the divine intervention working silently in your favor. It is the universe, telling you that you have completed the stage of suffering and that now a new phase begins, one of purpose, clarity, and expansion. During this full moon, the universe sends you a clear message. It tells you you have already learned what was necessary from this experience. You already understood what the pain came to teach you. It is time to heal, to close the cycle, and to advance without carrying the weight of the past. More, that phrase will resonate within you, even if you do not hear it with your ears. You will feel it as a profound peace that settles inside you, a certainty that everything is changing for your highest good. This healing not only cleanses your physical body, it also restores your energetic field. It is as if your vibration is being reconfigured, eliminating the frequency of fear and replacing it with the frequency of love. Every breath becomes lighter, every thought clearer, and every emotion more stable. What previously hurt begins to make sense, and what previously held you back begins to propel you. This full moon represents a definitive closure of the wounds that have already fulfilled their purpose. It is a transition point between darkness and light. If you pay attention, you will feel something inside you say thank you without needing words. That gratitude is the sign that the healing has occurred. That is why this week is not just any other week. It is the exact time in which the universe frees you from the pain you no longer need. It is the instant in which the lunar energy takes your hand and reminds you that you were chosen not to suffer, but to heal. This is the fourth miracle manifesting in its purest form, the complete restoration of the body, the mind, and the soul, under the light of a moon that always knew you were ready to be reborn. The fifth miracle that the chosen will experience during this potent week of the Taurus full moon is one of the most mystical and transformative. A dream or a vision so vivid, so real and so revealing that it will mark a before and after in your life. This type of manifestation does not present itself as a simple dream that dissolves upon waking. It is an experience so sharp, so detailed, and so profound that when you open your eyes, you know with absolute certainty that what you saw was not a product of your mind, but a direct message from a higher source. During this week, your connection to the subtle planes is amplified. The sun in Scorpio is already thinning the veil between worlds, and this full moon's energy acts as a bridge between the visible and invisible, between the conscious mind and the soul. This is amplified by the spiritual alignments of the grand water trine, particularly Saturn in Pisces, which governs our spiritual discipline and connection to the divine. When that light touches your energetic field, it opens the channels of perception that allow you to receive divine guidance through symbols, visions, or oniric messages. Therefore, if you dream something that feels more real than reality itself, pay attention. It is not a simple random memory from the subconscious. It is a spiritual download, an orientation that is showing you the next step on your path. You might dream of yourself in a future version, living a completely different life in another place, or performing a job that today perhaps seems unattainable. But within the dream, everything feels natural, coherent, and full of meaning. You see the faces, you hear the voices, you perceive the colors and sensations with surprising clarity. Upon waking, you carry with you the certainty that you have witnessed a preview of your own destiny. That vision reveals to you what is possible. It shows you the life that is waiting for you if you choose to advance in the right direction. It is as if the universe is telling you this already exists on a higher timeline. You just have to align with it to live it. It can also happen that the message arrives in symbolic form. If you have been looking for a sign, if you feel undecided about an important decision, a change of job, a relationship, a new beginning, the dream will show you images that leave no room for doubt. Perhaps you see a bird escaping from a cage and soaring toward the light, or a door slowly opening onto an unknown landscape. The symbols will speak directly to your intuition, and when you wake up, you will understand the meaning without needing external interpretation. The clarity will be immediate. Some of the chosen will receive these revelations outside of sleep, in moments of full consciousness. It might happen during a meditation, during a quiet walk, while you are looking at the sky, or simply while you are in silence. Suddenly, something inside you ignites, your mind becomes still, your perception expands, and a truth appears before you with total sharpness. You don't think it, you know it. It is an instantaneous understanding, a vision that pierces your soul and shows you the answer you were looking for. This experience feels as if a veil is being lifted. For a few seconds, everything seems connected. You understand the why of things. You see the patterns, the hidden reasons, the disguised opportunities. It is a moment of lucidity so intense that it leaves you in a state of calm. There is no confusion or doubt, only certainty. You know what you must do, where you must go, and what decisions to make to align with your highest purpose. The full moon potentiates these experiences because its energy opens the intuitive channels. Its light doesn't just illuminate the sky, it illuminates your subconscious. In that expanded state of awareness, the messages of the universe find a direct path to you. It is the way the cosmos communicates with the chosen, through dreams that seem like prophecies and visions that contain hidden truths. When this happens to you, you will recognize it by how it feels. There will be no doubt in your heart. The message will resonate with an indescribable force, a sensation of familiarity, as if you had always known it, but are only now remembering it. That is the sign that the message is coming from your soul, from the highest level of your consciousness, guiding you toward the next step of your evolution. This type of experience leaves a permanent mark. It is not something you can ignore or confuse with a passing thought. You will remember it with exactitude, the images, the words, the sounds, and the emotion it awoke in you. That clarity will accompany you during the following days, and you will begin to notice how external reality starts to align with the message received. People, situations, and opportunities will begin to appear, confirming what you already saw. This is the fifth miracle of the full moon, the direct revelation, the moment when the universe speaks to you without intermediaries, when you receive a vision so clear that everything fits. It is the confirmation that you are connected to higher dimensions, that guidance is available, and that your soul knows exactly where to direct you. During this week, trust what you see, trust what you feel, because your intuition and the universe will be working together to show you the way. These prophetic dreams and visions are truly miraculous because they offer you access to a type of knowledge that transcends the limits of the human mind. It is information you could not have discovered through logical reasoning or analytical thought. No calculation, analysis, or planning could have led you to that answer. What happens in this type of experience is that your consciousness rises beyond rational thought and connects directly with divine intelligence, that infinite source of wisdom that contains all possible answers. During this full moon week, the energy is amplified in such a way that your higher self can communicate with you with greater clarity. That inner connection becomes stronger, more direct, as if a channel is opening between your soul and the higher planes. It is through this channel that you receive the downloads of knowledge you need at the perfect moment. This is the language of the universe manifesting in you. The full moon acts as a cosmic transmitter that amplifies your capacity to receive messages from the universal field of information. When you receive a dream or a vision of this type, you are not imagining. You are remembering. You are accessing information that already exists on the highest planes, and that your soul, in its wisdom, decides to reveal to you now because you are prepared to understand it. That is why, upon waking, the sensation is so clear, so potent, so real. You feel it in your body, in your heart, and in your mind. It is not a fantasy or an idea that fades with the day. It is a silent certainty that vibrates within you and tells you, this is true, this is what's next. This type of guidance does not come from the outside. It arrives from the deepest part of you, but its origin is connected to something greater, with the universal consciousness, with the divine intelligence that inhabits everything that exists. When your frequency aligns with that energy, you can receive messages that orient you toward the purpose your soul chose before incarnating. That is why these dreams or visions are never random. They arrive with a specific purpose, with a message that has the power to change the course of your life if you are willing to listen to it. During this full moon week, the line separating the material world from the spiritual world becomes thinner. Your intuition sharpens, your perceptions expand, and that wisdom that previously seemed unattainable begins to filter into your conscious mind. It is possible that while you sleep, you feel that you are receiving information, that you hear soft voices, or that you see symbols with a meaning so evident that upon waking, you will know exactly what action to take. It's the way the universe shows you the next step without needing effort or confusion. When you experience this miracle, it is fundamental that you record everything you remember. Write down the dream or the vision as soon as you wake up without letting time erase the details. Every word, every image, every emotion has value. Even that which seems insignificant could have a hidden meaning that will be revealed later. Sometimes divine messages are presented in layers. What you understand today as a sign may transform into a deeper teaching in a few days or weeks. That is why writing it down is a way of anchoring the energy of the message in the physical plane. By doing so, you are demonstrating to the universe that you honor the guidance received, that you recognize it as something sacred. That conscious action of writing, of capturing the experience in words, opens the door to receive more messages in the future. It is a way of saying, I am listening. I am paying attention. I'm willing to understand. The energy of this full moon doesn't just illuminate the sky. It illuminates your inner mind. It is the moment when the veils are lifted and you can access truths that were always inside of you. Every dream, every vision, every symbol that presents itself during this week is part of a dialogue between you and the universe. A dialogue that, if you know how to listen to it, can guide you toward decisions that will transform your destiny. So when you receive one of these revelations, accept it with gratitude. Understand that you have been chosen to see beyond the evident, to access a wisdom that is not available to everyone. This is the fifth miracle, acting in its highest expression, the divine revelation manifesting through your own consciousness, showing you the path, giving you answers, and reminding you that the guidance you seek was always within you, waiting for the perfect moment to awaken. The sixth miracle that the chosen will experience during this sacred 48-hour window between November 5th and 7th is one of the most beautiful and significant. It manifests through the encounter with the exact person, at the exact moment, under circumstances that only the universe could orchestrate. This connection is not a coincidence. It is pure synchronicity. It is the confirmation that the universe is listening, that paths cross when both souls are ready, and that every encounter with purpose occurs with divine precision. This person may appear in your life in a completely unexpected way, without effort, without searching. Perhaps you arrive at a place without planning to. You check your messages and find a conversation that starts something transcendental. Or someone introduces you to a person who seems to know your energy from the very first moment. That sensation of immediate recognition, that feeling of, I know you from before, is not an illusion. It is a memory of the soul. It is two energies recognizing each other because, on higher planes, they were already destined to meet. For some of the chosen, this connection will manifest as a new romantic interest. This is powerfully aspected by Venus, the ruler of this Taurus moon, making its ingress into passionate, soul-bonding Scorpio on November 6th. This alignment doesn't just bring attraction, it brings deep resonance. This person is not just someone who awakens affinity, but someone who vibrates in complete resonance with you. Someone who shares your vision, your values, your desire for growth, and who arrives just when you had decided to give up, when you thought there was no one left who truly understood you. It is then that the universe surprises you, showing you that authentic love is not sought. It is attracted. This person will reflect the evolution you have achieved. They will not arrive to fill voids, but to accompany you from a place of fullness. It is an energetic, emotional, and spiritual union that feels natural, calm, and at the same time profoundly powerful. For others, this encounter may present itself in the form of a mentor, a guide, or a teacher, someone who has already walked the path you are about to embark on. This person appears with wisdom, clarity, and purpose. Their words resonate with you in a way you haven't experienced before. Every piece of advice, every story, every warning seems to arrive just when you need it. This connection will save you years of confusion, mistakes, or detours. And most importantly, you will feel that this is not just any teacher, but someone sent by life itself to help you advance to your next level. It could also be a collaborator, a partner, or a strategic ally in your projects. Someone whose skills perfectly complement yours. This person has what you lack, and you possess what they are missing. You were both looking for each other without knowing it, and when you meet, everything clicks. There is no need to insist or convince. The energy flows naturally, ideas emerge with ease, conversations inspire, and the shared vision feels so correct that you both recognize it instantly. This is destined to happen. It is the type of synergy that accelerates processes, that opens doors, that transforms simple plans into great opportunities. And in some cases, the person who arrives may have a healing mission in your life. This aligns with the healing energy of the Grand Water Trine. It could be a therapist, a counselor, a coach, or even a friend with the exact experience you need to free yourself from an emotional pattern or a blockage you had been trying to resolve on your own. This person listens to you in a different way. Their words penetrate beyond the mind and go straight to the soul. What previously seemed like an impossible problem to solve begins to dissolve through the understanding, the companionship, and the healing energy that this encounter brings with it. What makes this miracle so extraordinary is the precision of the timing. This person appears when you are ready to receive their energy, not a moment before, not a moment after. If they had arrived earlier, perhaps you wouldn't have recognized them, or you wouldn't have been prepared to connect on that frequency. But now, under the amplified light of this full moon, you are both vibrating in tune. This lunar phase is an energetic crossing point, a portal in which destined souls meet again to advance together in their common purpose. The encounter may be simple in appearance, but profound in impact. It might begin with a casual conversation, a glance, a message, or a greeting, but inside you will feel something change. Your intuition will know it before your mind does. You will perceive peace, clarity, inspiration, or an inexplicable sense of familiarity. That is the sign of the miracle. It is the universe acting through another person to deliver what you need. These encounters have an energy so precise that they alter the direction of your life. They push you toward new paths, they open doors you didn't even know existed, or they return your hope when you thought there was nothing left to discover. They are sacred bonds, soul pacts that are reactivated at the perfect moment. So during this full moon week, keep your energy open. Observe the coincidences, the spontaneous conversations, the messages that come from nowhere. Any of those moments could be the beginning of something that will change your destiny. This is the sixth miracle in action, the universe conspiring so that the right souls find each other, recognize each other, and unite with a purpose greater than both of them. The essential characteristic of this miracle is the divine synchronicity and the perfect alignment between souls. This is not about a simple pleasant encounter or a fortunate coincidence. It's about a connection carefully orchestrated by the universe, one of those that arrives with millimeter precision when your energy is ready to receive it. This person appears at the exact point on your timeline, at the precise moment when both souls have something to exchange, teach, or awaken in the other. When it happens, the feeling is unmistakable. It is as if reality pauses for a few seconds, as if the air changes density. You feel something in your body, a vibration, a warmth, a silent certainty that this encounter has a purpose beyond the visible. You cannot explain it rationally, but something inside you recognizes it. It is the intuition of the soul, remembering an ancient agreement, a pact made before arriving in this life. That person does not enter your path by chance. They arrive because it is part of the plan your soul mapped out long before your mind knew about it. The synchronicity is so precise that both of you perceive it from the first instant. Maybe you exchange a few words, and without knowing why, you feel you have known each other forever. There is a natural trust, a comfort that defies all logic. The conversation flows effortlessly, the silences are not uncomfortable, and the coincidences pile up one after another. You discover interests, experiences, and thoughts so similar that it becomes impossible to deny that something superior united you. That immediate familiarity is the language of souls recognizing each other. It doesn't matter if you have just seen each other for the first time. The connection feels ancient, as if you have waited many lifetimes for this reunion. It is a sensation that transcends attraction, admiration, or curiosity. It is a profound recognition that occurs on an energetic level. Your gazes meet, and for a moment time loses importance. You both understand that something is happening, even if you cannot put it into words. When this person presents themselves during this full moon week, give them your full attention. The energy of the moon amplifies connections with purpose. It opens the portals so that destined souls can meet and activate the next chapter of their spiritual path. This type of encounter is not chance or coincidence. It is a response. It is the materialization of something you asked for in silence, even without realizing it. Perhaps you have been asking for guidance, companionship, or a sign to move forward. Perhaps you needed support in a specific area of your life, and the universe is sending it to you in the form of a person. It could be a love, a mentor, an ally, or someone who brings the exact piece that was missing to complete your process. You will recognize it by the feeling of synchronicity. Everything flows without effort. The circumstances align so precisely that you will understand this could not have been planned by you. It is the universe in action. The key is to allow yourself to receive this encounter with openness. When the connection arises, listen to your intuition. Do not let fear close you off, nor let the rational mind convince you that it is too soon or too perfect to be real. Divine manifestations rarely follow human logic. The important thing is to feel the energy behind the event. If your heart expands, if you feel peace, curiosity, or an inexplicable attraction, it is because the universe is showing you something valuable. Allow yourself to explore the connection. Do not try to force it or understand it immediately. Simply observe it, live it, and follow the guidance of your intuition. These connections arrive with a defined purpose: to open doors, heal wounds, activate dormant talents, or redirect you toward your correct path. When they appear, they change the direction of your life, sometimes subtly, other times with an intensity that transforms everything. These divinely orchestrated encounters are rare. They do not happen frequently because they require both people to be energetically aligned, ready to recognize each other and work together on the purpose they share. That is why, when the universe unites them, it is a sacred act. It is an invitation to trust, to surrender to the flow of events and to let magic do its part. If during this week you feel that someone enters your life with a special energy, do not ignore that sensation. That person may represent a blessing in disguise, a turning point, a soul companion, or even a catalyst that will take you to your next stage of evolution. The full moon has prepared the perfect stage for these kinds of synchronicities, and if you are receptive, you will be able to recognize it immediately. This is the sixth miracle, manifesting in its purest form. The universe moving the invisible threads so that the right people meet at the exact moment, reminding you that nothing happens before or after its time, but just when your soul is ready to receive. The seventh and final miracle that the chosen will experience during this full moon week, this powerful 48-hour window, is without a doubt the most powerful and transcendental of all. It is the arrival of absolute clarity about your purpose. A profound, undeniable and luminous understanding of why you are here, what you came to do, and what role your existence plays within the great universal tapestry. This revelation does not feel like just another idea or a passing thought. It feels like a truth that was always inside you, waiting for the perfect moment to awaken. During this week, the energy of the exalted Taurus full moon will act as a cosmic mirror, reflecting your true essence. It forces you to see what you truly value, and the opposing sun in Scorpio demands that you look at your soul's deepest truth. All the confusion you might have felt in recent months, or even years, begins to dissolve. That feeling of searching for something without knowing exactly what. That inner impulse that made you feel like a piece was missing. It all begins to make sense. The mental fog clears, and suddenly you see it with clarity. You understand what you came to contribute. You understand what your mission is and how your personal history, every trial, every joy, has been a preparation for this very moment. If you have gone through stages of doubt, of exploration, or of frustration trying to understand your place in the world, this is the point where everything aligns. It is not a vague idea or a simple wish. It is an internal certainty. It is a knowing so clear that no external opinion can move it. And it is that inner voice that tells you with security, "This is what I came to do. This is what gives meaning to my life." That revelation can change the direction of everything, because once that clarity settles in, there is no turning back. This clarity can arrive in many ways. Perhaps it appears in the most unexpected moment while you are doing something mundane, walking, cooking, or looking at the sky. Suddenly, something inside you clicks, as if an invisible piece has locked into place. A sensation of peace, of connection, and of recognition washes over you. You understand that everything you lived through, the tests, the mistakes, the losses, the delays, had a purpose. Nothing was in vain. Everything was a preparation so that you could hold the mission you are now ready to assume. It can also arrive through a series of synchronicities so evident that they are impossible to ignore. People, conversations, signals, or even words that you hear repeated in different contexts begin to point toward the same direction. You feel that the universe is speaking to you in a symbolic language, confirming what your soul already knew. This accumulation of signals leads you to a clear conclusion. The path you must follow was always in front of you. You just needed the right frequency to see it. In other cases, this revelation comes as an external confirmation. Perhaps someone says something to you that resonates deeply, a phrase that seems to touch a part of you that nobody else knew. Or perhaps you receive an opportunity, an invitation, or a validation that confirms what you always suspected about your gifts, your talents, or your purpose. That confirmation frees you from the fear of being wrong, because you understand that what you have felt all this time was true. Your soul always knew what its purpose was. It just needed your mind to accept it. The full moon has the ability to illuminate the most hidden truths, and this week it will do so with you. You will feel an inner expansion, as if you finally understand your role in the universe. It will not be an intellectual understanding, but a certainty that is felt in the body, in the chest, in the breath. You will know that you are aligned, that you are at the exact point where you were supposed to arrive. This moment will mark a before and after, because when a soul remembers its purpose, everything in its life begins to reorganize to support that mission. From that instant, your decisions become clearer, your steps firmer, and your energy more focused. You will no longer feel the need to search aimlessly, because the direction will be within you. Life will begin to show you paths you didn't see before, people who share your vision and opportunities that reflect your purpose. It is as if the entire universe is conspiring to help you fulfill what you came here to do. This seventh miracle doesn't just give you clarity, it gives you power. The power to choose consciously, the power to walk with purpose, and the power to live from the highest truth of your being. From this revelation, everything begins to align. Your relationships, your projects, your decisions, and your emotions. You no longer feel like you are surviving. You feel that you are fulfilling a mission. And when that happens, life changes color. Every day has meaning. Every challenge becomes a teaching. Every step becomes expansion. This is the greatest gift of the full moon for the chosen, the absolute clarity about who you are, why you are here, and how you can serve the world from the light you carry within. This is the seventh miracle manifesting with all its strength. It is the moment the soul awakens to its own purpose, and the universe celebrates that awakening by aligning everything in your favor. During this full moon week, if you feel that call, if suddenly everything fits, if you understand what previously confused you, recognize that it is the universe speaking to you directly, reminding you who you truly are. The reason this miracle manifests during the full moon week is because full moons have the power to reveal what was previously hidden, to illuminate what remained in the shadows of your subconscious. This energy doesn't just act on the external world, it also illuminates the deepest layers of your being. What was dormant inside you begins to awaken. What previously felt confusing or blurry suddenly becomes evident. The light of the moon penetrates the most hidden corners of your soul and brings to the surface the truth that was always there, waiting to be recognized. Your purpose has been engraved in you since the moment you arrived in this life. It is not something you must invent or discover outside yourself, because it already exists within you, coded in your purest energy. However, the material world, with all its distractions, responsibilities, and demands, has made you forget it. The external noise, the expectations of other people, the social pressures, the inherited fears, all of it has been covering that spark with layers of doubt and disconnection. But this full moon has a frequency so high that it dissolves all that weight. It is as if the lunar fire burns away the illusions and clears the path so that you can finally see clearly who you are and why you are here. For the chosen, this process will feel like a profound awakening. During this week, something inside you will ignite. It is possible you will feel an impulse, a vision, or a certainty that suddenly settles in. Your purpose, which previously seemed like a distant idea, will reveal itself before you with such force that you cannot ignore it. It is a revelation that is felt in the entire body. It is not a mental idea, but a total comprehension, a truth that vibrates in every cell. It is as if your soul is telling you, this is it. This is the reason you incarnated. This is your path. This clarity arrives accompanied by a powerful energy. When you see it, you will know. There will be no doubt or confusion, because the light of this moon has the capacity to erase everything that was clouding your vision. In that instant, you will understand that every obstacle, every loss, every detour had a purpose to prepare you for this moment. Everything you have lived through was training to hold the mission that is now being revealed. And when that understanding settles in, something inside you will change forever. If your heart expands, if you feel peace, curiosity, or an inexplicable attraction, it is because the universe is showing you something valuable. Allow yourself to explore the connection. Do not try to force it or understand it immediately. Simply observe it, live it, and follow the guidance of your intuition. These connections arrive with a defined purpose: to open doors, heal wounds, activate dormant talents, or redirect you toward your correct path. When they appear, they change the direction of your life, sometimes subtly, other times with an intensity that transforms everything. These divinely orchestrated encounters are rare. They do not happen frequently because they require both people to be energetically aligned, ready to recognize each other and work together on the purpose they share. That is why, when the universe unites them, it is a sacred act. It is an invitation to trust, to surrender to the flow of events, and to let magic do its part. If during this week you feel that someone enters your life with a special energy, do not ignore that sensation. That person may represent a blessing in disguise, a turning point, a soul companion, or even a catalyst that will take you to your next stage of evolution. The full moon has prepared the perfect stage for these kinds of synchronicities, and if you are receptive, you will be able to recognize it immediately. This is the sixth miracle manifesting in its purest form, the universe moving the invisible threads so that the right people meet at the exact moment, reminding you that nothing happens before or after its time, but just when your soul is ready to receive. The seventh and final miracle that the chosen will experience during this full moon week, this powerful 48-hour window, is without a doubt the most powerful and transcendental of all. It is the arrival of absolute clarity about your purpose, a profound, undeniable, and luminous understanding of why you are here, what you came to do, and what role your existence plays within the great universal tapestry. This revelation does not feel like just another idea or a passing thought. It feels like a truth that was always inside you, waiting for the perfect moment to awaken. During this week, the energy of the exalted Taurus full moon will act as a cosmic mirror, reflecting your true essence. It forces you to see what you truly value, and the opposing sun in Scorpio demands that you look at your soul's deepest truth. All the confusion you might have felt in recent months or even years begins to dissolve. That feeling of searching for something without knowing exactly what. That inner impulse that made you feel like a piece was missing. It all begins to make sense. The mental fog clears and suddenly you see it with clarity. You understand what you came to contribute. You understand what your mission is, and how your personal history, every trial, every joy, has been a preparation for this very moment. If you have gone through stages of doubt, of exploration, or of frustration, trying to understand your place in the world, this is the point where everything aligns. It is not a vague idea or a simple wish. It is an internal certainty. It is a knowing so clear that no external opinion can move it. It is that inner voice that tells you with security, "This is what I came to do. This is what gives meaning to my life." That revelation can change the direction of everything, because once that clarity settles in, there is no turning back. This clarity can arrive in many ways. Perhaps it appears in the most unexpected moment, while you are doing something mundane, walking, cooking, or looking at the sky. Suddenly, something inside you clicks, as if an invisible piece has locked into place. A sensation of peace, of connection, and of recognition washes over you. You understand that everything you lived through, the tests, the mistakes, the losses, the delays, had a purpose. Nothing was in vain. Everything was a preparation so that you could hold the mission you are now ready to assume. It can also arrive through a series of synchronicities so evident that they are impossible to ignore. People, conversations, signals, or even words that you hear repeated in different contexts begin to point toward the same direction. You feel that the universe is speaking to you in a symbolic language, confirming what your soul already knew. This accumulation of signals leads you to a clear conclusion. The path you must follow was always in front of you. You just needed the right frequency to see it. In other cases, this revelation comes as an external confirmation. Perhaps someone says something to you that resonates deeply, a phrase that seems to touch a part of you that nobody else knew. Or perhaps you receive an opportunity, an invitation, or a validation that confirms what you always suspected about your gifts, your talents, or your purpose. That confirmation frees you from the fear of being wrong, because you understand that what you have felt all this time was true. Your soul always knew what its purpose was. It just needed your mind to accept it. The full moon has the ability to illuminate the most hidden truths, and this week it will do so with you. You will feel an inner expansion, as if you finally understand your role in the universe. It will not be an intellectual understanding, but a certainty that is felt in the body, in the chest, in the breath. You will know that you are aligned, that you are at the exact point where you were supposed to arrive. This moment will mark a before and after, because when a soul remembers its purpose, everything in its life begins to reorganize to support that mission. From that instant, your decisions become clearer, your steps firmer, and your energy more focused. You will no longer feel the need to search aimlessly, because the direction will be within you. Life will begin to show you paths you didn't see before, people who share your vision, and opportunities that reflect your purpose. It is as if the entire universe is conspiring to help you fulfill what you came here to do. This seventh miracle doesn't just give you clarity, it gives you power. The power to choose consciously, the power to walk with purpose, and the power to live from the highest truth of your being. From this revelation, everything begins to align. Your relationships, your projects, your decisions, and your emotions. You no longer feel like you're surviving, you feel that you are fulfilling a mission. And when that happens, life changes color. Every day has meaning. Every challenge becomes a teaching. Every step becomes expansion. This is the greatest gift of the full moon for the chosen. The absolute clarity about who you are, why you are here, and how you can serve the world from the light you carry within. This is the seventh miracle manifesting with all its strength. It is the moment the soul awakens to its own purpose, and the universe celebrates that awakening by aligning everything in your favor. During this full moon week, if you feel that call, if suddenly everything fits, if you understand what previously confused you, recognize that it is the universe speaking to you directly, reminding you who you truly are. The reason this miracle manifests during the full moon week is because full moons have the power to reveal what was previously hidden, to illuminate what remained in the shadows of your subconscious. This energy doesn't just act on the external world. It also illuminates the deepest layers of your being. What was dormant inside you begins to awaken. What previously felt confusing or blurry suddenly becomes evident. The light of the moon penetrates the most hidden corners of your soul and brings to the surface the truth that was always there, waiting to be recognized. Your purpose has been engraved in you since the moment you arrived in this life. It is not something you must invent or discover outside yourself, because it already exists within you, coded in your purest energy. However, the material world, with all its distractions, responsibilities, and demands, has made you forget it. The external noise, the expectations of other people, the social pressures, the inherited fears, all of it has been covering that spark with layers of doubt and disconnection. But this full moon has a frequency so high that it dissolves all that weight. It is as if the lunar fire burns away the illusions and clears the path so that you can finally see clearly who you are and why you are here. For the chosen, this process will feel like a profound awakening. During this week, something inside you will ignite. It is possible you will feel an impulse, a vision, or a certainty that suddenly settles in. Your purpose, which previously seemed like a distant idea, will reveal itself before you with such force that you cannot ignore it. It is a revelation that is felt in the entire body. It is not a mental idea, but a total comprehension, a truth that vibrates in every cell. It is as if your soul is telling you, this is it. This is the reason you incarnated. This is your path. This clarity arrives, accompanied by a powerful energy. When you see it, you will know. There will be no doubt or confusion, because the light of this moon has the capacity to erase everything that was clouding your vision. In that instant, you will understand that every obstacle, every loss, every detour had a purpose to prepare you for this moment. Everything you have lived through was training to hold the mission that is now being revealed. And when that understanding settles in, something inside you will change forever. And that is crucial, because recognition is what activates the magic. When a miracle occurs and you see it, you honor it, and you give thanks for it, its energy multiplies. It becomes a bridge between you and the divine. But when it passes unnoticed, when it is mistaken for simple coincidence, its strength dissipates. That is why the key this week is to remain present, to observe with consciousness every little synchronicity, every change, every impulse of the soul. Behind them hides the manifestation of the universe, working with you, clearing your path, and showing you the right direction. Miracles are not announced with fireworks. They arrive softly, precisely, and at the exact moment, sometimes in the form of a conversation that gives you the answer you were looking for, other times in the sudden feeling of relief after months of uncertainty. They can manifest as opportunities, encounters, signals, or simple moments of clarity that completely change your perception. If you are awake, you will recognize them, and by doing so, you will activate them. This full moon has a special mission: to deliver to you the results of everything you have worked on internally. But to receive them, you must be available, with an open mind and a receptive heart. The more conscious you are, the more evident the universe's support will be. Each of the 7 miracles will manifest with greater intensity for those who are in tune with the lunar energy, and each will bring with it a teaching, a confirmation, and an expansion of your purpose. If you are here, if you feel these words are piercing through you, it is not by chance. You have been guided to this message because you are among those whom the universe is preparing for an energetic leap. This full moon marks the beginning of a new stage for you, a stage in which miracles stop being something distant and become a natural part of your path. So this week, observe, listen, feel, remain present. Every sign, every encounter, every emotion will be a way in which the universe will show you that the miracles are active and that you are part of them. This full moon is your confirmation. You have done the work, you have held the faith, you have followed your intuition, and now the universe rewards you with clarity, guidance, and miracles that will accompany you in the fulfillment of your purpose. This is what you must do during this week of the full moon, spanning November 5th to 7th, to ensure you receive these 7 miracles. This is not just any week. It is an energetic turning point where the lunar energy is at its maximum potency and the universe is completely open to interacting with you. But to receive what corresponds to you, you must be awake, attentive, and willing to act in synchronicity with the signals that will arrive. First, stay alert. Presence is the key. Observe what is happening around you with a heightened consciousness. This week, nothing will be a coincidence. Every synchronicity, every word, every sensation that passes through you has a hidden message. Avoid moving on autopilot. Instead, awaken your senses. Look beyond the evident. When something unusual or unexpected occurs, pause and acknowledge it. Ask yourself, is this one of the miracles manifesting? Is the universe showing me a path or a confirmation? That question opens your energetic field and allows you to receive with clarity what is arriving. When you are attentive, the universe can communicate with you more easily. You will see repeating numbers, phrases that seem to speak directly to you, encounters that happen at the perfect moment. All of these are messages designed to guide you. If you see them and acknowledge them, they amplify. But if you ignore them, their energy dissolves. That is why full consciousness is the tool that turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. This week, your attention is your power. Second, express gratitude immediately. The instant you recognize that something special is happening, give thanks. Do it out loud if you can, or in silence if you prefer, but do it from the heart. Gratitude is the highest frequency that exists, and when you give thanks, you open the channel between you and the universe even wider. Say something like, "I recognize this moment as a divine intervention. I receive this gift with humility and gratitude." That affirmation creates an energetic echo that multiplies the blessing. Every time you give thanks, you reinforce your connection to the source. The energy of gratitude acts as a master key that opens more doors. It is like telling the universe, "I understand the message, I am receptive, I am ready to receive more." And then the flow continues. During this week, do not underestimate the power of saying thank you. A single gesture of gratitude can transform an isolated event into a continuous chain of miracles. Third, act based on what is revealed. Miracles are not just signals to be admired, they are invitations to move. If an obstacle is cleared, advance without delay down the path that is opening. If someone from the past reappears, engage fully with that reconnection and listen to the message they bring. If money arrives, use it with purpose and consciousness. If a dream or vision shows you a clear direction, follow that guidance with confidence. Miracles open the doors, but you are the one who must cross the threshold. Conscious action is what turns energy into results. When you respond to miracles with movement, you demonstrate that you trust the universe. Every step you take sends a clear message. I am aligned with my purpose. I am willing to advance. And then the universe responds by opening even greater paths. Fourth, share your experience. When you witness these miracles in your life, do not keep them only for yourself. Talk about them, share them, tell someone what happened. Your testimony could be the spark that awakens faith in another person. When you share, you multiply the energy. Your story becomes a signal for other seekers, reminding them that the universe is listening to them too. By telling what you experienced, you turn your experience into a channel for collective expansion. Every word you speak with authenticity carries a frequency that inspires. And as you help others recognize their own miracles, yours also multiply. It is the natural cycle of energy. That which you share from love returns amplified. Remember that this week is not just about observing what the universe does for you. It is about actively participating in the process. Being chosen implies consciousness, gratitude, action, and service. Every miracle that arrives will be an invitation to demonstrate your connection with the divine, to show that you can receive with faith, act with intention, and share with generosity. So during this full moon, live with all your senses awakened. Observe, give thanks, act, and share. Make every day a conversation with the universe. These 7 miracles are already in motion, waiting for your acknowledgement. If you remain attentive, if you open your heart and respond with action, you will see how the magic unfolds before you, confirming that you are on the right path and that the universe is working with you, here and now. Trust fully that everything that comes to you during this week is exactly what your soul needs to advance. Nothing happens out of time. Every event, every signal, every emotion is part of the divine plan that is unfolding with precision. The November full moon is already here, radiating its most powerful energy of the year. Its light is already touching every corner of your life, removing what is stagnant and activating what was dormant. The miracles have already begun to move in your direction. They are seeking you, approaching you with the speed of thought, ready to manifest in ways that will surpass all expectations. All that is required of you now is that you remain awake, conscious, and receptive. Keep your mind open, your heart available, and your spirit attentive. This is not a week to rush or to be distracted. It is a week to observe calmly how the universe begins to reveal its perfection through you. These 7 miracles are not just distant possibilities, they are promises. Promises that the universe made to the souls who agreed to be lighthouses in times of change. And you are one of them. These blessings correspond to you because you have remained firm on your path. You have fallen and you have gotten back up. You have felt tired and still you kept going. Life has tested you many times, and yet here you are, listening to this message, receiving this confirmation. It is your persistence, your faith, and your willingness to grow that has prepared you for this moment. The miracles that are arriving are not a prize. They are a natural consequence of your evolution. They are the universe's response to your commitment. So this week, expect them with certainty. Feel that they are already moving toward you. Observe how the flow of life begins to organize itself in ways that previously seemed impossible. Acknowledge them when they appear, because they will. And when it happens, receive them with an open heart and with the profound understanding that you are guided, sustained, and loved beyond what your mind can comprehend. The obstacle that seemed impossible will dissolve, and what previously held you back will cease to have power over you. The person from your past will return, bringing the message, the opportunity, or the healing that your soul needed. The money will arrive from unexpected sources, reminding you that abundance is alive and that the universe always provides. Healing will come to your body, your mind, and your spirit in ways that surpass all explanation. A dream or vision will reveal with clarity your next step, showing you the path your soul already chose. The perfect person will appear at the exact moment, bringing with them synchronicity, connection, and purpose. And the clarity about your purpose will crystallize within you, so strong, so luminous, that nothing will be able to extinguish it. These are the 7 great miracles. They are not in the future. They are already unfolding right now in your energetic field. They are arriving, they are manifesting, and all you need to do is remain in openness. This is your week. This is your portal. This is the point where the invisible becomes visible. The supernatural, the miraculous, and the divine are moving through your life to remind you who you truly are. You are chosen. You were called to live this time and to be a witness to this transformation. You are guided in every step, even when you cannot see the full path. You are protected by forces that accompany you constantly, sustaining you as you fulfill your purpose. And above all, you are deeply loved. Loved by the universe, by creation, by the energy that gave you life and brought you here. Receive what is coming. Allow these miracles to manifest without resistance, without fear, without doubt. This is your moment. This is the time in which everything you have asked for, worked for, and dreamed of begins to take form. Breathe deeply. Feel the vibration of this full moon and repeat to yourself, I am ready. I am open. I am receiving my miracles because you are. The miracles have already begun. The universe chose you, and the best is happening now. And so, as the energy of this full moon continues to expand in the sky and within you, remember that nothing you have heard here is by chance. If this message reached you, it is because you were destined to hear it. You have been guided to this moment to remember your power, your mission, and your connection with the divine. The 7 miracles are already underway, moving silently through the threads of the universe, approaching you with every conscious breath, with every aligned thought, with every act of faith.